Splatoon 3 has been taking over my life ever since its release. To the turf war and anarchy mode where my teammates don't want to follow the objective and just get kills, to the hero mode testing my patience with the rail levels and making me explore every stage for secrets, to Salmon Run where Grisco sends us to get slaughtered for some mags and some cool uniforms, and lastly TableTurf Battle. Splatoon 3 in my own opinion has lived to its expectations and even more, and that makes it a great game. But instead of talking about the main parts that make this game great like weapons, maps, story, or gameplay, I thought to bring up the small details that make this game so great. Small details that if they were not in the game it wouldn't be the same, so I put them into 5 different categories. I'm gonna skip ability chunks and metal stuff because I don't really get much into that. And with that, let's start with For the people who haven't finished the hero mode, don't worry, I won't spoil anything. The first thing out the bat that I like about this mode is the exploration. What I mean is the secret items you have to look for, like the scrolls, sardiniums, decorations, and gold records. These little collectibles get my monkey brain going, because now I'm exploring every inch of each stage, and hoping I didn't miss anything. And because of these collectibles, the game rewards you for exploring every nook and cranny. I like when games have this mechanic for exploring every map. Speaking of stages, the background of almost every stage or level has some eye-catching appeal to them. Yeah, most people tend to not look at it, but once you do, you get to appreciate the details the developers have put into this mode. I think the main theme for most of these details is that most players tend to not notice them, but if they were taken off, players will notice them. The weapons in Splatoon 3 look more sleeker and nicer. I like how I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna call it the ink capsule. I like how it looks different and it feels like it's supposed to not be in your way of your character's design. I like how every weapon showcase is different and express our personality, especially the emotes that really give your Inkling or Rockling more expression. I personally think that the emotes in this game are the best way to customize yourself, because you don't want to lose a match and see everyone in the opposite team hitting you with a dab. And oh yeah, being able to pick where you spawn and seeing all the teammates spawn point is a nice touch. Wipeouts are another cool detail to see because either you're dominating the opposite team or you're getting jumped the second you try to do your objective. Rainmaker has checkpoints so that you won't lose in a match less than a minute, but that won't stop players from trying. Come on guys, I'm trying to rank up here. The fact that Salmon Run is 24/7 shows how much players like this mode. Let's start with the opening. I like how our characters are talking to each other and sitting idly by. The new Salmon Run bosses are another cool detail added to make our rounds more chaotic when shit hits the fan. Obviously the King Salmon Kohozuna is another great boss to have the end of a round. And I like the anchor telling you it's getting more pissed off and when they'll show up. I also like the fact that Grisco has its own currency so you can save up to buy certain things like new color uniforms, stickers, decorations, and banners to show off to other players in the shift while being around by salmons. It's standard in video games that sequels graphically look better than the one before. And Splatoon 3 improves from Splatoon 2. The idle and walk animation looks smoother. I like when your Inkling or Octoling goes into a shop and looks around the store looking all shocked. I also like how expressive the shopkeepers are, except Sheldon because he won't shut up when you unlock a new weapon. And how expressive your fellow Inklings and Octolings are in the town square. It makes the town more active where each of your team is doing whatever. And sometimes I like to walk around the hub area and look at people's posts. Also the hub areas for multiplayer and Salmon Run are one of my favorite parts of the game. Like when I'm waiting for a match, I just start playing to pass the time. And compared to Splatoon 2, it's a massive improvement. You know what else is a nice improvement? Being able to play with friends. In Splatoon 2, it was a hassle to play together. You had to hope your friend's lobby had empty slots to play together, and even then, you might even be in the same team. But Splatoon 3 is just a click of a few buttons and boom, you can play together like it should be. I cannot tell you how much time this saves. Just like being able to skip the news intro, playing with friends should be a quick and easy feature. Back to hub areas. The multiplayer hub is so convenient. There's the food stand that use food and drink tickets. The shell out machine is a new cool thing to add to gamble your money for a chance of getting a cool item, banner, titles, decorations, tickets, and ability chunks. And oh boy, people had created unique titles. I sometimes wonder if Nintendo knows what it's done when they gave us these powers. Speaking of decorations, lockers. Lockers are a new feature that really bring out the creativity of players. But players decide to make, interesting design choices on day one. I like when games give you something to decorate and personalize, because you get to put thought into it, and who didn't? I think being able to customize so much in this game is one of the main appeals of this game, but just like Splatoon 2, the main appeal to me about this game is the I cannot explain in this video how important music and sound design is in video games, specifically Splatoon with its unique sounds, which one that I'll make a separate video about it. but to make it easy for you and me, I'll just list my favorite music and sounds you hear in game. Music wise, Splatoon 3 has a rock and punkish theme to it. I specifically like Splat Attack, the demo version of Clickbait, Seaside Track 5, Candy Colored Rocks, and Technical to the Metal and Multiplayer. But Hero Mode hands down has the best tracks because I practically like all of the internal music. For Salmon Run, I very much like the King Salmon and Chaos Carnival track. Also, the Splatfest introduced 2 new tracks in Turf War that are bangers. Speaking of Splatfest, I personally like the Splatfest Victory and Defeat music than the default ones. Onto sounds. The sounds for specials activate my neurons when I hear them in matches, like Tentacoolers, Triple Inch Stripes, Wave Breakers, and the Reef Sliders. Same with the Anarchy mode, like the sound of the tower moving, and Clan Blitz having a little jingle playing when your or your enemy's defense is down, which still doesn't help the game mode being complete ass. And I think that's everything I could think of details of this game. I probably missed on your certain details, but it's really become longer than I expected. And this game is vast in content, and I have a hard time organizing every detail. I just feel like we shouldn't ignore these small details that the developers have put into the game, which shows how much passion and work they put into it. And overall, I can't wait to pump more hours into this game to unlock the Davy mode, to gamble for some cool items, grind on Salmon Run, and to decorate my locker and calling cards. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about TableTurf Battle. TableTurf Battle is a